All right. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to our print-on-demand gifting guide live session. We are super happy to have you guys here. Man, it's hard to believe that the holiday season is already upon us, but here we are. Happens every year. Today, we're super excited. We're going to explore some top strategies for turning that very busy Q4 demand into print-on-demand success. So whether you are already running print-on-demand programs today, or maybe you're just dipping your toe in and you're thinking about getting started, you're definitely in the right place either way. A few quick housekeeping items before we get started. So this session will definitely be recorded, and we'll make sure to email out a copy of the recording to everyone who registered, as well as a few other helpful POD resources that you could start using to pitch print-on-demand stores and programs to your customers today. So be on the lookout for that email. It's going to have a lot of good and helpful content in there for you. And then last note is this is a live session, so please drop your questions or feedback in the chat. We're going to try our best to get to everyone at the end of today's discussion. But if we don't get to your question, we will definitely make sure to follow up with you after. But we'd love to hear from you. So send us a note in the chat. All right, and just to put some faces to names, I am Lauren Zimmerman. I am on our product marketing team here at OrderMyGear, and I'll be guiding us through all things online stores today. And joining me is none other than the print-on-demand and decoration expert himself. We have Dave Connor in the house from STAHLS Fulfill Engine. Thanks for joining, Dave.
Absolutely thrilled to be here. I'm all about education and really helping decorators succeed. It's kind of what I've been doing for the past 15 years, and now expanding that to team dealers, distributors, and really fueling success for anybody interested in print on demand or leveraging web stores. So I couldn't be more happy to be here today.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We're glad to have you. All right, well, we have a very packed agenda for today, so I wanted to just give a quick preview of what you can expect to learn and walk away from after today's session. So first and foremost, we'll cover all things POD and how you can maximize your success leading up to the hustle and bustle of the upcoming holiday season, which I know we're all very much looking forward to. We'll give you guys some pointers on how to strategically select gifts that hopefully don't end up in the storage closet, or maybe even worse, the trash can. We'll cover strategies for making gifting both personal and profitable. So we'll explore how POD can help your customers actually cut down on costs this holiday season, while also helping them reduce some of that waste that maybe they've seen in past years. And then, of course, we'll show you how print-on-demand stores are just a super quick and easy way to be able to eliminate some of that high stress that kind of naturally comes with this time of year and the high production and the high demand by putting all of those online orders and funneling all of those sales on a print-on-demand stores and just letting it run on autopilot in the background while you can focus on other things. So lots to cover. And with that being said, I did just want to kick off today's session with a question for this group. But I want to know, has anyone that's joining us today actually run some type of end-of-year program or some type of holiday store before for one of their customers? And if so, what did it look like? What kind of customer was it for? Was it gifting? Was it an event? Was it holiday? Maybe employee recognition? So drop your responses or any kind of feedback you have in the chat, and we'll try to monitor it throughout. But we'd love to hear from you just to see if there's any ideas or feedback that we can kind of give along the way today. So looking forward to hearing from you. All right. I do see some fresher faces on today's session. So if you are new to OrderMyGear or Fulfill Engine, welcome. But I did want to quickly introduce ourselves as OrderMyGear. So we are a technology provider for distributors, decorators, team dealers, and suppliers. And we offer a whole suite of solutions for you to be able to discover, sell, and manage orders online. So think everything from online stores to websites to product search, order management, and so much more. So you have everything you need to sell branded merch online under one roof. And then today's shining star will, of course, be online stores and our print-on-demand integration with STAHLS Fulfill Engine. So without further ado, I will hand it back off to Dave to give us an intro and some context on all things Fulfill Engine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fulfill Engine is such a powerful tool and really a good solution that's going to enable almost anybody, essentially automated production, hands off, quality vetted on a variety of different products. We're talking over 12,000 different products in there, from your typical tees and tote bags and hoodies to everything out of the box, from drinkware to gift sets with tumblers, even technology, which we'll get into to some of the products here. But essentially, it is all of the sourcing, decoration, and shipping direct to your customer completely handled. All you have to do is set up the product and put it on an online store. And then it's ready to be ordered. So there are no minimums. So just one thing I do want to call out, while you can order as many as you want, you could order as little as one of every single product, which I know typically could be a little bit of a hassle sometimes to place manual POs for one order. And all of those little touch points that you have to make throughout the way have a tendency to take up a lot of time and erode some profitability. So Fulfill Engine is here to solve that. Once it's ordered in the online store, everything is hands off on your end. The turnaround time for Fulfill Engine is very quick. So it is 5 days maximum. I think it's currently operating, at least the network of decorators is operating at a 3.9 day average. So when you look at quick to ship products from completely custom, it's ready out the door and on the way to the customer very, very quickly. Excuse me. And there is the quality standard too that I mentioned. So that is one thing for the network of decorators. There are 12 from coast to coast here in the United States that have been vetted on quality. So we know that they could be trusted with your quality, because I know that's one thing talking to distributors, team dealers, and even decorators who have used print on demand in the past. That's like the number one concern is my customer is going to see this before I do. And that's why we are very selective of who is actually fulfilling these orders for any order routing through the Fulfill Engine network. So of course, there is an option if you are an in-house decorator to have those orders sourced to you for you to decorate in-house. But we could spend an entire webinar talking just about that. And here on screen too, I just want to call out, we will get into products here in just a little bit. But right there in the middle is a brand new decoration technology that is exclusive to Fulfill Engine right now and not available anywhere else. And that is Liquid 3D. So it is a single piece dimensional decoration that's available on hats, as we see right there with the falcon head, as well as bags. So you'll hear us talk about premium products coming up, and this is definitely something that you could hit on that. But 12,000 products and almost any decoration technique under the sun. So whether it be direct to garment, direct to film, embroidery, or even laser engraving like we see here on the slide as well, even down to UV printing. We'll get into it in a little bit. I don't want to spill too many beans. I just get real excited about all of the possibilities available here within Fulfill Engine too. And I think we do have decoration methods that I could show you an entire list here as well. And there it is. Thank you, Lauren. Embroidery, direct to garment, direct to film, laser engraving, UV printing, and dye sublimation. Now, dye sublimation specifically for things like drinkware, or if you're looking at custom mouse pads or flags, things like that is where we'll see sublimation really coming to play. And then the Liquid 3D. But as part of those 12,000 products in this extensive catalog of blanks, you have essentially every major supplier under the sun and their catalog coming in, and we're onboarding more as the year goes on as well. So it's awesome to see how far this catalog has grown in the past 6 months, and it's real exciting to see where it's going to go in the next 6 months. Of course, S&S, Sanmar, the two major apparel suppliers here in the United States, as well as Carolina made, and then even direct from brands as well. So some of those styles that may not be available through distributors, you can get direct from brands. So Lane 7 and AS Color directly plugged in there. JDS Industries for a lot of hard goods, as well as Spoke Custom, which we're going to look at some of those items that really are super premium and perfect. That's why I couldn't be more excited about this topic too, as holiday gifts. And Spoke Custom makes some absolutely incredible things that you could offer to your customers here as well. And of course, for sports, team dealers, Momentech brands, and Augusta, those brands that everybody knows, Pacific Headwear, going direct to Momentech brands to get the sourcing of those products just really unlocks the potential of this huge catalog going right into the automation for decoration on demand.
Awesome. A lot of options.
Lots of options and lots of benefits too. So of course, these stores that you set up with the products for Fulfill Engine, you have year round. So we're talking seasonally here for Q4 in these gift stores, corporate gifts, or any holiday stores, right? But these orders are only decorated when an order is placed. So you could have them always open, and they're great. Just as kind of a side note for, if you've been around the block a couple times with online stores or working with any groups, whether it be schools or teams, there's always that one person or one parent that forgot to order after the bulk run has went in. And that's really a great benefit here, where you could order just one extra after maybe the entire store closes. But with the on-demand production, one of the huge benefits too is no minimum quantities whatsoever. You could order one, or you could outfit the entire team or the entire business. That's all up to you and your customer's decision. Now, of course, we kind of already talked about missing those deadlines, makes it real super easy. And another thing here too is, especially if you are decorating in-house or whatever workflow you have for kind of those bulk orders, this could run completely complementary on its own on the side. So I think when we opened, Lauren was talking a little bit about, the hectic, crazy, busy season for any custom product, but in the apparel decorating industry, I know it's, we're feeling it right now, right? So it's already ramping up into this busy season. And so this allows you to truly free up bandwidth for yourself on those smaller orders that typically do require a little bit maybe more hand holding for a little bit lower profit margin, right? When you're not doing a huge bulk run and only selling one piece, you have to figure out how to source it and how to decorate it. And there's still a lot of decorators or even suppliers that have those big minimum quantities for a lot of these options that we'll see here in the online store. So of course, you expand your capabilities too. So not only are you freeing up bandwidth, but you're expanding the capabilities of what you could offer. If you don't have a reliable source for embroidery, now you do. All you need to supply is a DST file, and you could select the threads. And that's part of the beauty of Fulfill Engine too, is that you're setting up the production recipe. So it is standardized regardless of what facility it's being decorated at. And there are a couple variations or a couple kind of key points to decide where an order is going to route. And of course, location is one of them. We want to be as local to the end customer as possible to reduce shipping and freight costs for everybody. But of course, then you get to expand beyond what you already are capable of offering, whether it be UV printing, we see that emerging, or even laser engraving, or even like I mentioned with the brand new dimensional on-demand product with Liquid 3D, you have all of these capabilities in your back pocket to use however you choose. And of course, all of this does not cost anything. There is no risk of, putting an order in for a bulk quantity to hope that it sells. This is a perfect environment where you could start to test out different products or really get kind of custom with things that maybe your customers have never been able to source before, and now they could source them at any quantity. So some really great benefits when we talk about going through the print-on-demand stores with Fulfill Engine connected to them.
Love it. The options are endless. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dave. That was super helpful. Before we get into the really fun stuff and looking at products and decoration methods, which is my favorite part, I did want to pause for a second and cover a few market trends that we've been seeing in 2024, just to kind of help set the scene of things that you might be going up against when you are pitching stores to customers, or things that you've heard from customers throughout this year. But I know that this slide can look and maybe sound a bit daunting at first glance, but I promise there is plenty of light and opportunity at the end of the tunnel. But one thing we know for certain from this year is that shift happens. There have been some major ups and downs that businesses across the US and even the globe have definitely faced from, we all know, supply chain issues, tariffs, tightening budgets. I know the list goes on and on. So it's been kind of a tough year. And we know that those challenges aren't just affecting the companies and organizations, but they're also really impacting the employees that work for those companies, and staff and faculty and other consumers. I did think that this statistic was super interesting, but this was one of the first years in the past decade where employee engagement actually saw a decrease from 24% to 21%. Again, very much fueled by the impacts of some of those challenges and other factors like remote work still being at play, company layoffs, tightening budget, things of that nature. So again, I know it sounds a little bit doom and gloom, but I think the bottom line here is that we know that it has been a particularly difficult year for a lot of companies across the US, which has also left a large majority of employees feeling a bit disconnected, a bit burnt out, and a little disengaged, if you will. However, I did promise that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So with some of those big challenges that we're seeing, there's also a great deal of opportunity that comes with it. So first and foremost, did want to call out the branded gifting market is estimated to be north of 281 billion in North America alone. So there's a gigantic amount of opportunity out there. And even if you're just capturing a sliver of that pie, it can be a huge win for you and your business and your sales. Second thing to note here is that, again, kind of going back to the story of employee burnout and turnover, another recent study from this year shows that companies see 31% lower voluntary turnover from their employees when they have some type of gifting or recognition program in place. So that being said, showing gratitude and saying thank you through branded merchandise can really go a long way. And then last but not least, for companies that maybe service other businesses or work with different customers or vendors, another survey from this year through business.com showed that 46% of professionals noted that receiving a gift actually influenced their decision whether or not to continue doing business with that vendor the next year. So a lot of information, a lot of stats. I know it looks all fancy, but the big takeaway here is that showing gratitude matters, personalization matters, and at the end of the day, branded merchandise does matter because it's a very simple way to re-engage and reconnect some of those relationships that may have really been challenged this year. So just to kind of set the tone, give a little bit of market context, but as we go through the rest of the slides, just kind of something to keep in mind, whether or not you've heard this maybe in customer conversations that you've had this year, or maybe anticipate some objections coming up as you start to pitch some of these ideas for Q4. Just some food for thought.
Absolutely. I love that so much, Lauren. And especially as companies are looking, all of that right there, as a salesperson looking to go out and engage with your customers this holiday season, keeping all of this in the back of your mind and kind of that ammunition that could even help you convert these sales. But those customers that are going to push back on you, when you talk about those objections that you might encounter, that's what's perfect about the print-on-demand stores, is that you're not making any huge upfront investment. So it's so adaptable to say, hey, only pay for what you are buying. And it becomes a solution to, a address the maybe employee burnout or the recognition, or if they're trying to get more customers this year. All of this is so great to think about. That was awesome, Lauren.
Of course. Thanks for the added color. All right, so now that we know that there's plenty to look forward to as we go into the rest of Q4, let's check out what some of those common or popular use cases looked like, at least compared to Q4 of last year. We know that this upcoming season is going to be extremely busy, if it's not already extremely busy, for both companies and organizations, and then also schools and teams. So let's take a look at some of those popular online store use cases from last year's Q4. So no surprise here, holidays and events. So think companies, they have their big end of year sales meetings, holiday parties, offsite meetings, maybe they have retreats, a ton of opportunity, just gatherings when it comes to different companies and corporations. Up next, corporate gifting. So what better way to say thank you to your clients and the partners that you work with all year long than with a premium or branded gift to kind of help reconnect and build that relationship up as you move into the next year. Employee recognition and incentive. So being able to say, hey, job well done to employees, or maybe even school faculty and staff and coaches for a successful year, or even a way to recognize top performers. Again, kind of going back to those end of year sales meetings. I know Dave actually has some very cool print-on-demand trophies and award items that hopefully we can look at here in the next couple of slides. But I think even products like that just fit so nicely into some of those end of year all hands meetings and awards and things like that. So a lot of opportunity there. And then last but not least, spiritware stores. So again, we know that these are very popular all year round, but especially holidays. We know that parents this time of year are really looking for different ideas and gifts to give to their kids. And then what better gift to give than some kind of premium branded apparel for the school, whether that's a nice hoodie that maybe their kid's been eyeing all year long, or that branded water bottle that all of their friends have. Just being able to have that on an online store and make that super easy to check out and fulfill is just, again, cherry on top. And that's just a taste of some of the use cases. Again, those are kind of the more common ones that we see towards the end of the year. But we also know that there's other use cases like alumni and donor appreciation. That's a big one that we see. Winter sports, of course, as they start to ramp up at the end of the year. Booster club, fundraising, the list goes on and on. I won't kill you guys with my laundry list of use cases, but I think all that being said, there's really just no lack of opportunity in the upcoming quarter. And hopefully we got a little bit of responses in the chat so we can see what you guys are up to and what you have planned in the next few months. All right, Dave, let's get to the fun part. What kind of products are we looking at on Fulfill Engine?
So when you talk about all of those opportunities, one thing that really takes it to the next level and connects with customers and your customers and their customers or their employees are gifts that people actually want. It's not, everybody's received socks. And I will say I'm guilty that in older age, I kind of really enjoy getting socks as a gift now. But you want to give gifts, and that's the whole purpose that people are actually going to want. And when we talk about branded merchandise as a whole, you want the most impressions of that as possible. And when people are looking to either spend smarter or pinch pennies, this is where it kind of compounds to be more important than ever before. You mentioned it a little bit. I mentioned it a little bit too. But when we talk about just general apparel, because I think apparel is still such a huge majority of the promotional products market. Everybody wears t-shirts and apparel, and it's, useful. It has a purpose that people are going to use. But when it's just another, kind of budget t-shirt, that might work for, certain schools or certain customers, but you really have to start to look at what, your customers want. It's not going to be the same for a business executive or a high-end law firm that you might be working for that's looking to get out some gifts for their clients, right? Like a cheap t-shirt's not cutting it. So in the print-on-demand industry, one of the terms that's really come about this year is premiumization. With being able to order just one, you could order these higher end premium products. And for this purpose specifically, really kind of translates to gifts that people want. So instead of just a regular t-shirt or maybe a hoodie for those clients this year, recommend a higher end quarter zip, maybe a name brand jacket, or something a little bit more elevated than what's typically been offered in the past. If nobody orders it, it was just a minute of setting it up a product on an online store. But even when we look at like finishes, definitely embroidery or dimensional items start to come into play rather than just standard flat decoration. Don't want to write off standard flat decoration because it totally is economical for almost any market. But on top of apparel, we also have caps, hats, beanies, or any other, kind of products that we'll typically see worn. So of course you want the practicality. So, if you're, I don't know, I am up here in Ohio, it does get very cold very quickly. And so I think it might already be beanie season, but depending on your specific markets or where you are, maybe ball caps are probably a better, we don't see the sun in Ohio after November. So until next spring. So definitely, regardless of where your market is, that's going to kind of dictate what styles you're going to be able to offer. But through Fulfill Engine, you have that flexibility to be able to do embroidery on those headwear. You could do the liquid 3D, or you could even do just regular economical flat printing as well with a direct to film transfer. So, if you're not well versed in decoration, and I'm throwing all these terminologies and decoration methods out there, and you're like, well, I don't know what the difference is, right? That's the beauty of Fulfill Engine 2. The product building experience on the back end is all on Rails. So if something's not able to be used on a specific fabric or a specific item, it's not available in the catalog. So we want this to be fully automated and consistent, predictable, and repeatable. We don't want any surprises throughout the production flow. So everything's already been vetted, and you're creating essentially a pixel perfect mock-up to go right on the online store while you are kind of building the product in there. So I love the way you could build products because it is so super efficient. And I mean, honestly, it's what I've been looking for the past 10 years. It makes it so easy. So on top of the headwear, still practical and wearable, but now we're talking a little bit more in that corporate space, is bags. And so when we look at bags, it's not just backpacks, right? It's the satchels, it is the belt bags or hip packs. I'm a kid of the 90s, so they're definitely still fanny packs to me. But we see those crossbody bags definitely coming back, and coupled with a nice high-end decoration technique like a dimensional decoration on it with liquid 3D or even embroidery. It really takes that next level. I will say a gift that I received from a former employer as a holiday gift is the bag that I carry my computer in every single day. So it was a kind of higher end bag. I won't say the specific brand because they're not available in Fulfill Engine yet, but with a little embroidery on it, it's been my daily bag for probably well over 10 years now. And it still has my previous employer's logo on it that they're getting brand impressions. I just love the bag so much. So if anybody from Fulfill Engine is watching, maybe I need a new bag this holiday season. Just a little nod there. But you see how much just one piece truly makes a difference. When we talk about practical, long life cycle in being used, just like my bag, what have we both reached for while we're on camera here is a mug. Think of more than just the regular coffee mug like I just had, but the tumblers, right? Everybody has their Stanley cups that go with them everywhere, to a specific water bottle, right? All of these options are available in the Fulfill Engine catalog for network decoration, whether it be a full color logo that's UV printed on a huge tumbler, or sublimation wrapped around an entire water bottle like we see here with the OMG green water bottle here. So you do have the ability to truly use decoration on these products that people use every day. And then that becomes a gift, right? When we talk about things that feel like gifts, talking about tech products. This is one too that I received as a recognition for doing a whole bunch of trade shows back to back last year, but essentially just a charger, a power bank, right? A portable charger. Having that be able to be UV printed or even in some cases laser engraved, that you are giving somebody a gift that is going to live in their bag or their pocket almost every single day. And I have my one, it's usually right on my desk right here, and I don't have my power bank right now. So immediately when this webinar ends, we're going to have to go find it because it's never far from me. But just like that, those practical, usable products become these highly sought after gifts that people actually want and will use, right? You don't want to give somebody something for a holiday gift if you're showing employee appreciation. If it's like, oh, cool, that's the t-shirt that I know has been in the swag closet for the past 3 years, right? So definitely want to be able to show that there's these higher end products. So tech products, we see here a speaker as well that has the full grill printed, which is just such a cool branding opportunity. And I know I use Bluetooth speakers all the time, right? So it's just something like that. But it's so much farther than just that. It could be chargers, right? Like an actual wireless charger for a phone. There are a ton of products in there. So you got to go in there and explore. Of course, when we talk about sales recognition, there are laser engravable or UV printed awards, just like we see here. So they're essentially blank glass or Lexan awards that you could just put any decoration on, whether it's a company logo. But because we could order these as one pieces, every single one of these items you could almost personalize too, right? So just put it in the art right on there on the decoration itself and order one of them. It's a really great tool for you as a distributor, as a decorator, or as a team dealer to be able to truly connect with your customers and give them that that high-end experience and gift here for the season. One last thing too, of course, everybody loves their pets. There is pet accessories available in there, from bandanas to little dog hoodies. And I know my new dog he's a little too big to wear anything that's available. But we used to dress up the old dog all the time in branded swag. And then of course, home goods, those again, practical, used, and when we used daily or frequently. And then when we look at the holidays specifically, anything kind of cozy, from blankets to even yoga mats or huge, desk mats like we see a lot of industries use, especially working from home. I need a nice new mouse pad right here on my desk. So if anybody's looking for some holiday gift ideas for Dave, I just gave you a whole bunch of the things that I love using. But that's just kind of the scratching the surface of how creative you could truly be to really drive it home this holiday season.
Love it. I need that Bluetooth speaker. That looks sick.
I know where you could get it.
I do too. Maybe I should pull the trigger.
But yeah, just a few things here. I think I've covered a lot of these, right? Like only produce what's ordered, no waste, no excess inventory, quantities as low as one. Of course, when you are ordering just one, you have the ability to mark that up to be whatever you want it to be to your customer, right? So you are protecting your margins on orders of any quantity, whether it be one or whether it be 200 to outfit the entire crew. Of course, super, super cheap stuff, not really the best when we look at appreciation gifts, but like we were looking at some of those different markets, spirit wear, right? I wouldn't go with like the cheapest, most affordable hoodie as a gift, or whatever they want to charge. Because I'll even say like those Gildan hoodies, I'll wear them all the time too. So I don't want to write off anything, but premium definitely are going to be the way to go with those higher end corporate customers. or anything other than somebody looking for the most economical way to show appreciation to their team, to their friends, to their employees, or their prospective customers, or their existing customers there. And of course, when we talk about speed, the holiday season, I think, Lauren, you mentioned it, it creeps up on us so quick, right? And so not having to worry about different deadlines kind of really takes the stress off of you while helping you be incredibly profitable this season too.
Awesome.
Yep. And a couple more here, just like we mentioned, know your audience. One item isn't going to fit every single customer of yours, and you're going to have to kind of tailor those. But hopefully you have a little bit of relationship with these customers and could take a best case educated guess, or browse the catalog with them on a quick call, just to look at all the things available and have them pick and choose. We see most POD stores and print-on-demand stores, especially businesses running them for employee appreciation, could have up to 75 different items in them to allow customers and allow their employees to choose from. And when you give it that choice, that's going to ensure that that employee is going to actually want to wear that at the end of the day, instead of getting that ill-fitting t-shirt. Hey, I already have a ton of t-shirts. I want to get that jacket this year. It gives you a great place to be able to test all of that with, again, zero risk. You could have flexibility here too when we talk about just purchasing straight with a credit card. If you want to issue redemption codes, gift cards, it works however your customers would like it to, which truly is a benefit and a nice sales tool when you are looking to engage and just create that customer touch point. Always stay top of mind and inspire some of those ideas that then become, more than just an idea. It's a solution solving the problem for that customer, because they said, man, budgets are just really tight this year, and we don't have the money to throw $9,000 on this huge bulk order of swag like we always do, or whatever it may be. You have that completely solved and ready to go for your customers.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Absolutely.
And this great note, because you just covered a lot of really great, valuable content. Again, this recording will be shared out, and you can easily take screenshots or make a little checklist if you want of any of the best practices or tips that we've covered today. Because I know it's a lot, but it's a lot of good stuff. So awesome. All right. While we have a few minutes left, let's take a minute just to take a look at an actual storefront. So I am going to hopefully share a store. Do you see a store, Dave?
I see a store.
Wonderful. So this is just a sample store. This is one created, of course, on our pop-up store platform. But this is an example of maybe a holiday store or company swag store for OMG. And this is a print-on-demand store. So you see we have our fully branded banner up top. We even have a little notice that as an employee, I'm going to get 50% off from the OMG holiday store when I use OMG123 at checkout. This example is a credit card store, but I do get that discount, which is great. And then here you see our products, just as you would see them on any other OMG online store. The only difference to the consumer or the shopper is just this quick to ship pill in the top left corner. And that just lets customers know that they're going to get their product or their swag super fast from ordering to doorstep. So that's really the only big difference that a consumer would ever notice. But other than that, it just mirrors the same retail-like experience that a shopper would have on any other OMG storefront. But yep, again, you got categories, subcategories, make it super easy to browse, poke around, encourage shopping and browsing. So a lot of cool products. Some of the products that Dave actually already touched on are on this store. I know I love a good wireless charger because my phone is always on like 5%. And then while I'm on the store, I did want to quickly point out this other pill in the bottom right corner, which is Klarna. So Klarna is a buy now, pay later payment solution, and it just divides up the purchase into 4 interest-free payments. You may have used this before in other retail settings. I know you can use it on obviously clothing websites, even things like travel and American and Southwest. You're able to split up that purchase into easier payments just to make it easier on your wallet, especially towards the end of the year when you're buying gifts for a lot of folks. Budgeting is tough. It just makes it that much more flexible and that much easier to be able to make a purchase. So I did want to call that out. And then while I'm on storefronts, I also want to share an example of a redemption store. So Dave mentioned that there's a variety of payment options offered through OrderMyGear. We just looked at a standard credit card store with Klarna enabled, but we do also have options like redemption stores. So if I'm a shopper, I would receive my custom redemption code, let's say from my company. In this example, my code's going to be OMG123. I'm going to receive that link to the storefront. I'm going to plug in the code that I also received, and I'm going to apply that code to be able to see the rest of the storefront. So again, I have a fully branded store, customer's logo, a hero image. I have a really cool information bar for dropping in any pertinent holiday or shipping information. We also see a lot of customers actually plug that this is a print-on-demand store. So shoppers actually know that the turnaround time is going to be much quicker for them as well, which is a good incentive. So those are just a couple of examples of different payment options that you have today. We're happy to send any other materials on payments out in the follow-up email after this webinar so you can learn more. But while I was in there, I wanted to give you guys a glimpse. And now I'm going to attempt to go back to where I was. One moment.
I love that redemption store. That was just so cool, and you could see the wide breadth of products they had in there too, from home goods to apparel.
Yep. And so the redemption store that we just looked at, you may have noticed there was either very minimal products on the storefront or maybe even no products, and that is using a premium layout 3. We have 3 different premium layouts. But we've actually seen in our internal data that that premium layout 3 specifically drives the highest amount of average order value compared to any of the other layouts and even the standard store layout, because it offers that very retail-like modern experience that consumers and us as shoppers are used to seeing. So when I go to Target.com or Zara.com, I'm not looking at just a massive list of products right when I log on. I mean, there's categories and subcategories and imagery that keeps it interesting and it makes you want to stay a little bit longer and browse. So I just wanted to make that note because I did think it was interesting that the fewer products on the main page, the higher the order value. All right, I know we have a few minutes left, so we'll try to wrap it up so we can get to any questions here. I know we hit on a few of these things just briefly in the demo, but I did want to touch on a few other tools that you can have in your tool belt just to be able to boost that average order value on those stores. We already touched on Klarna, which is buy now, pay later, which you can easily enable on any store, POD or non-POD. And we actually see a 67% increase in AOV on stores that offer buy now, pay later compared to stores that do not offer buy now, pay later, which is very significant and also very relevant and useful for things like holiday stores. Again, premium items can add up quickly, or maybe you're a parent with multiple kids in a school at the same time and you're shopping for more than one child. That could also add up very quickly. So makes it super flexible and easy to spread payments out over time. We talked about the importance of branding, product bundles. So this is, again, just another lever that you could pull to incentivize shopping and some of those larger carts just by including multiple items in that bundle. This could be a school offering a spirit wear bundle with multiple items included, or maybe it's a required uniform bundle, or maybe even like new hire kits for the beginning of Q1. So a lot of options there to boost AOV. Abandoned cart notifications. So these are already enabled on OMG storefronts, but this is just another great way to incentivize shoppers to actually complete their purchase. So if they did add an item to their cart, if they try to click out or X out of the window, there would just be a little pop-up notification that greets them and says, are you sure that you want to leave this page before completing your purchase? So again, just another way to be able to lower that abandoned cart rate on storefronts. Last but not least, free shipping and threshold coupons. So if you're running a credit card store, which we looked at, you can advertise to shoppers that if they spend above a certain threshold, let's say $50 or more, they're going to receive free shipping on that order. So another way just to add more products to your cart. I know that this one gets me all the time as an avid online shopper, so I'm very much a victim to the shipping threshold tactic. So it works. And then and then lastly, trending or quick ship items section. So on one of the storefronts, you may have remembered there's like a highlighted section at the very top. You can label that whatever you want. You can say trending items of 2025, or you can say these are quick to ship items, anything you want, but this just incentivizes folks to be able to see that category first and maybe encourage shopping and adding those items to their cart because it is being highlighted and pointed out on the storefront. Awesome. All right, and as we near the very end, we will get to questions here in just a moment. But I just wanted to share a very brief client success story. We have hundreds and hundreds of OMG customers that are running print-on-demand stores today. We just launched this, I think, the very beginning of this year. There's already hundreds of clients that are using it and using it really well. A good example of that is Mercury Screen Printing. So they specialize in high quality branded apparel for schools, sports teams, athletic clubs, and businesses across the Northeast region. They have been running Fulfill Engine stores for just a few months now, and they have completely knocked it out of the park. They've launched over 150 stores, again, in just the past few months. They're averaging over 1,000 print-on-demand items per month that are sold. And then about 30% of their active online stores are print-on-demand stores. So they definitely recognize the value and they're just like full speed ahead, crushing the game. They're doing awesome. So big shout out to the Mercury team. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're excited to see what you can accomplish in the holiday season with print-on-demand. All right, I did promise a few resources that we will share. So along with this live session recording, we also have a few cool resources that you can start using today if you wanted to pitch print-on-demand programs to maybe a customer and you don't know where to start. So we will provide a link to a one-pager that kind of gives information on print-on-demand, some of those high-level value points that we talked about, and this is going to be customer friendly. So it's going to be completely white labeled. You won't see OrderMyGear or Fulfill Engine anywhere on it. Just a tool that you could have in your tool belt to be able to pitch stores this season. And then we have just a list of resources at your disposal that we will also share in the email. We have a landing page with great content and best practices, different client success stories like the one we just checked out, blog posts, webinar recordings, and a Help Center article for getting started. So lots of resources. And speaking of getting started, I know that we have a good mix of existing OMG customers on the call today, as well as maybe some newer faces that aren't using OrderMyGear. Welcome to both, but if you are not currently an OMG client, you cannot use the print-on-demand store integration through OMG. So first and foremost, you're going to want to sign up for OrderMyGear. Please reach out to our team. We'll make sure that there is information in the email that you receive to make that easy for you to do so. So sign up for OMG, and then once you're in, setting up the integration takes minutes. It's very simple. You just go to the integrations page within our application, and then once you fill out the requested information, it takes about 1 to 2 business days. I think we're averaging closer to that 24-hour turnaround time frame to complete the setup and to complete the integration connection. So super simple. And then you're off and running, selling POD for the rest of the year. So with all of that being said, I would love to take a look at the chat now just to see if any questions or feedback or programs that you might be running this quarter. Let's see if anything came through in the chat. Okay, a few here. Dave, this one might be for you. So on the Fulfill Engine side of things, how are things like returns and replacements handled? Is that through OMG? Is that through Fulfill Engine?
So that would be, you could easily do that through Fulfill Engine. I do want to say that the industry standard for custom just decorating on apparel, the replacement rate's about 3% of where we see that. Fulfill Engine currently operates at 0.5% of a replacement rate. So if that's any kind of anxiety reducer on quality, that's there. So, but we do understand things happen. All you have to do is go find the order that would have came through on your Fulfill Engine account and just click request replacement. Let us know exactly what was wrong. There's a whole drop down of reasons that are, and then even a little form where you could type something in. Our team reviews it, and then if approved, it immediately goes back into production to be replaced. So a very, very simple kind of self-service process that you get to fill out, and then it's handled for you.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I did see a question come through. Is it possible to mix Fulfill Engine or print on demand items as well as non-print on demand products on the same storefront? And the answer is yes. It's super simple. I think actually in the two examples that I showed you, one was a combination of POD products and non-POD products, and then the other example was all print on demand. So it really is just your preference and whatever your customers' needs are. Dave, I think you briefly touched on this, but how many decoration facilities are there and where are they located? Maybe region-wise, or how are orders routed to the nearest shopper?
Yep, they are coast to coast, and we add new decorators onto the network all the time. I think we added 4 already over the past year,
Nice.
maybe. So yeah, there's 12 coast to coast, so west coast to east coast, north to south. I think there are some in Texas, and then I think there's actually quite a few in Texas. It's a big state, but orders route through the network based on number one, location, but then number two, decorating capabilities. So if somebody on the same purchase ordered a t-shirt and then a laser engraved tumbler, the product selection and the capabilities are going to be dictated to who it's going to go to. So it's going to go to a facility that's going to be able to put those together and then deliver them together, right? There are a few caveats in there when we talk about those specialized products, but you could kind of see those at least within the back end of split fulfillment. We obviously want to keep every order together as much as possible to reduce shipping costs down the road. But almost every single facility on the network is well equipped to decorate with a variety of different decoration methods. So that's not really a concern that we run into all too often.
Gotcha. Perfect. I saw a few questions around pricing, so I will share out in the follow-up email our landing page, and that includes very detailed pricing just because the cost varies depending on the decoration method. So instead of boring you for the next 5 minutes, I'll make sure to send that out so it's easily laid out in front of you as far as pricing goes.
Yeah. When you set up those products too, you will see pricing populate in there. So you could
Yep.
clearly set your profit margin. There are no like the pricing's not hidden and you're not guessing on profit margins at all. We want to ensure that you as a distributor, as a online store, however you're selling it to your customers, that you are making the profit that you want to be making.
Big time. Super important. You talked about this a little bit, but any new suppliers or decoration methods on the horizon? I know Liquid 3D is shining right now, but anything else potentially you can talk about for maybe next year or coming up in the next few months?
Yep. Spoke is the one that we just integrated this month. And I think Koozie Group is next step.
Cool.
So you're unlocking a lot more products there, especially when we look at promotional products, right? Like these are the things that truly do kind of the little details that take just regular t-shirts or hoodies and really allow you to offer so much more to your customers too. There are some other ones in the tech space that will be coming on, as well as some home goods. I don't want to mention names yet, but some are brands that you may very well be familiar with. and really kind of opening the doors far beyond what really anybody's doing with print on demand.
Love it. All right, I'm doing one last check of the chats, and it seems to be empty now that we've answered those questions. So I think we can go ahead and wrap it up for today. But thank you, Dave, so much for joining us. You're always just a wealth of knowledge in the POD and decoration world, so really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And thanks to everyone for joining us today. I know we covered a lot of good use cases and opportunities that are on the horizon for Q4. So hopefully you learned a little bit and you're able to apply maybe some of those tips and best practices as you continue to pitch and offer stores and print on demand for your customers this holiday season. So thank you again for joining, and be on the lookout for the email that we will send out shortly after this webinar. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.